streamers! Today I'm going to break down all the details about countdown timers for live streaming, like everything you need to know. Are you pumped and excited for today's show? I know I am. I see Soul Moon's in the house. I see Andy. Ecamm, of course, is in the house because this is the show I do with Ecamm themselves called Go Live Now. I'm from Live Streaming Pros, but we do a combo show, which is always exciting. I see Cindy in the house. Who's new? By the way, who is new? I would love for you guys to type new in the comments so they can give you a special shout out. Now, I had a bunch of questions about the music and about the countdown timer. We're going to talk countdown timers today, but one thing you need to know is what music do we use? In fact, Callie, our brand new community care. What's your title? Community care hero. That's what we titled her. Callie is over here learning day 2 of her new job. And she was asking, like, how do you not get copyright struck, right? So those of you who have that same question, that livestreamingpros.com/music epidemic sound, there's a free 30-day trial. That link is in the description. So go grab that because it has the most awesome music we have ever found. Robert, I will answer that during the show today. I promise you. Well, I saw some newbies. Hold on. Where are my newbies? Where did you guys go? Callie is lurking. Yes, she is. I missed all the new comments. Hold on. I'm scrolling up because I wanted to say hi. Hi, DJ Rev. How are you? Geeks Life is not new. David Foster, you are not new. I do have Christian new. Awesome. Everybody give them a warm welcome. Community care hero, right? It's a great name, and I just couldn't remember it because we were going back and forth. We were like, what do we call her? She's going to be taking care of you guys in the Live Streaming Pros Facebook and YouTube. Not Facebook yet. She's day 2. We're getting her there. All right. So I also saw somebody ask, what is, like, can you show me Ecamm? Yes, I can. So we use Ecamm for all of my streams. All my streams are done through Ecamm. I have free training and a free trial for you guys. So if you haven't dug in to Ecamm, go ahead and hit that link in the description. It's a free trial, a free training series. I don't even ask for any email address. It's just there for you to get started quickly. All right. Are you guys ready to dig into all of this? I'm super excited about today's show because I get so many questions about it. All right, let's do it. Today, I'm going to break down all the details about countdown timers for live streaming, like literally everything you need to know, and then we'll do Q&A at the end in case there's more stuff you want to know. So we're going to tackle why a countdown timer helps your live streams. We're going to talk about the 5 different parts of a countdown timer. Yes, there are 5 different pieces to the countdown timers the way we do them. So we're going to dissect it today. Who's up for some science class today? Also, we're talking about what platforms countdown timers will work on and what they won't work on, and what software you can and cannot use a countdown timer with. These are questions that we have gotten over and over, so we're just going to break it all down for you. If you are new, type new in the comments. I would love to meet you. And if you are new, then you don't know me. I'm Laria Petrucci from Live Streaming Pros, where I help you create more professional live video that is uniquely you. And this is the show I do in conjunction with Ecamm Live, which is my favorite live streaming software for the Mac. We dig into how to get more out of Ecamm and increase your live video results. Welcome to Go Live Now. Hello, Hugh and Timothy, both new. We got a hashtag science for the win. Yeah, baby. Dissecting today. Now, I do get this question a lot. What do I use for my setup here with Ecamm. This is the setup. You can hit that link, livestreamingpros.com/GLN, in order to see all the details, get all the links, etc., etc. All right, so why should you use a countdown timer? Well, first of all, what is it exactly? So why should you use a countdown timer? You have to understand what a countdown timer is. So we're going to cover that. I'm actually going to do a little demo for you. And there are many different ways to do countdown timers. You can get really creative with this stuff, right? But the way we do it is we actually like to add a little bit of transparency to our countdown timer so that you can be a little voyeuristic if you like, and you can see behind the scenes. It looks like this. All right, so see, you have the transparency, you have this engaging visual, and the link to the music that we use and to where you can actually get your own countdown timer is in the description. But that is what a countdown timer looks like, and the reason that we use it is for a few different reasons. Well, one, the peak number of viewers come in on your live stream at around the 18 to 20 minute mark on Facebook, around the 10 to 15 minute mark on YouTube. And so it gives people time to get in and get settled and give you time to get to that peak before you're closing it out, right? So let's say you do a 20-minute live stream on Facebook. Well, they're just now showing up and then you're done and you're out of there, right? So it gives your viewers a little bit of time to get those notifications. It also creates habits with your audience. And if you're not creating habits, guys, that is one of the most important things about building your audience. You must create habits. That's why we go live at the same time every single week. That's why us every single day. That's why you upload your videos at the same time every week, right? It's a habit forming, and people will come into our countdown timers, into the pre-show, and hang out, they'll chat, they'll talk about what they're drinking or eating or the weather of the day or whatever. They'll just talk, which means we're creating engagement. And who wants, raise your hands in the comments right now, who wants some more engagement? I know you do, because the algorithms love engagement. They see that, they benefit you because you're getting engagement. So with the whole voyeuristic thing, with the whole behind the scenes way we do the countdown timer, it creates massive engagement, especially since I'm dancing, we're having fun, I get people involved in the chat room, right? All of that good stuff. And it also allows you to add a little bit of personality into your pre-show. I see a whole bunch of hands going. Yeah, everybody wants engagement. We need engagement in our streams in order to do them well. So Ecamm says, sure, why not? Nice. Yes, so all the thumbs up for engagement. Okay, so we're on the same page about why you would want to use it. And so actually I want to tackle a question that I saw come through during the pre-show, which was, I would like to see kind of the data behind, like countdown timer versus not. Now, is there any scientific, reports being done by Facebook themselves or anything like that? No, but we have been doing this for years. We've done it with and without, and our students do it with and without. And we look at all of that data and we know for a fact that this, in most cases, is a benefit to you instead of a drawback. So just to set your mind at ease. Now let's dig into the 5 parts of a countdown timer. I want to dissect this countdown timer for you. I don't know of a better way to describe it other than dissect. All right, we're gonna wash our hands before we dissect. Got it, Sean. Now, when it comes to a countdown timer, I want you to think in layers, okay? So we've got different assets, and when I say assets, I mean all of the different pieces that you're going to see today. Assets are graphics, their timers, their all the different things that you're going to see in this demo. And so I actually am going to actually build this out for you guys so that you know exactly the parts of a countdown timer the way we do this. Okay, now I am using Ecamm, and I'm going to go into live demo mode here. Now I'm using Ecamm, and we have, like I said, we have a free trial to use Ecamm and to learn Ecamm and how to set it up. That link is in the description as well. We also, at Live Streaming Pros, this is not an official Ecamm thing or anything, but at Live Streaming Pros, my business, what we've done is I'm going to come out of live demo mode real quick. What we've done is actually provided a done for you file. You're going to see this in action if you get one of our countdown timers. The magical Mr. Paul Dixon, our graphic designer, created a bunch of different colors and different styles of countdown timers for you so that you don't have to actually beat your head against the wall trying to create one yourself. And you know it's going to be professional and you don't have to pay out the wazoo because it's only 27 bucks. What? Yeah. All right. So that link is in the description and coming to you in comments right now. So let's go into demo mode and you're going to see what I mean. So there are 5 different pieces to your countdown timer. And I'm going to actually create a brand new file here. There's a little behind the scenes action going on, right? So I'm going to create or choose my camera. That's much better. I like the look of that much better. I like it. Gothic Agelec, I can't say your name, says, where's the link already? Share and take my money. And the link is in the description, so go click that. Now, as we look at the different pieces, the camera is your first piece, right? So the camera is layer 1, right? We're going to think in layers today. So camera is layer 1, and that is what we've chosen. Now we're going to add the other layers, okay? So I'm going to actually click my Finder. And when you actually buy one of our countdown timers, you get this file. And for vMix and Ecamm, by the way, you get a file that will literally load in everything for you. And so you see I have all of my assets up here in the scenes window. I'm actually going to overdo that, and we're going to double click this file. And guess what happens? Bam! We've set everything up for you so you don't have to. So now we have the main camera, that's layer 1, right? Now we're gonna click the countdown timer, and we have 2 different layers right here. Okay, so we have the show starts in and the countdown timer itself. These are 2 of the different pieces. But first, we're going to add in the file itself, right? So the movie file is an actual part of this whole process. It's 1 layer. So I consider it the second layer. We're going to add an animated overlay. And then we're going to come down here and like whatever, if you make your own file, if you buy one from us, whatever, it's this, a movie file, right? And so we're going to open that and we're going to choose add animated overlay. Bam. Drag it all the way to the edges, get it all the way to those edges. All right, so that's the movie file layer. But because we're thinking in layers, what we want to do is actually bring this down underneath those other layers. See the difference? So it's over the text asset and the countdown file. So that text is washed out, if you will, right? So I'm going to drag this down into the bottom layer, and then it's going to be visible and white so that it stands out on camera. Okay, so we have the camera, layer 1, the movie file itself, which is layer 2, and then the 2 other assets right here, which are the show starts in. This is a text file. This is just text, okay? So you can just double click, add your text, and you can add text yourself just by going into overlays, new text overlay. And then you have the countdown timer itself. That's your 4th layer and part of your countdown clock. And so you can set the time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever floats your boat, choose your fonts, all of that good stuff. And then, all right, so we have 4 different layers, right? Now we need the 5th layer. By the way, you do have to make sure that this is looping, okay? Otherwise, you don't see the cool animations. We want the cool animations for sure. All right, the files are really small. By the way, I see questions coming in. For example, this file itself is 29 megs, but we provide you a zip file if you got it from us. So if you're creating it yourself, I don't know how big that's going to be. All right, so what we're going to do now is add some music. In the sound effects panel, you've got the countdown music, and I have loaded in music. As I mentioned, we use Epidemic Sound. We have a link to a free 30-day trial to make sure that you like that music in the description. But what we want to do is load in all of our music into a folder and then click this gear button and add it to the scene. So now we have music added to our countdown, and that is the 5th element of your countdown timer, your whole countdown timer setup, okay? And then you're gonna definitely want to mute. I can't mute it because otherwise, you wouldn't hear me. So those are the elements of a countdown timer. Now it has been dissected. I'm gonna come out of live demo mode. I always forget to do that. And I see all the questions coming. We're gathering those questions. We're gonna tackle them here in a minute. Now, one thing I wanna make sure is that like we've gotten this question so much. What platforms will countdown timers work on? Okay, so platforms, when I say a platform, it's where viewers watch you. Okay, so Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, private streams, even like Vimeo Live, if you're doing some kind of fancier setup on your whole website and sending people who have paid for something to your website, so a private stream will work. If you're using Ecamm or vMix, we're going to talk about that in a second. You also can, right now, there's a whole bunch of iffiness about Zoom, but you could potentially send this to Zoom or other video conferencing software so that you can use that. Now, like I said, there's right here and now, as I'm recording this, Zoom is trying to take that feature away, and so it may not be the case in the future. Now, you cannot do Instagram or TikTok. You cannot use these countdown timers with either of those platforms, okay? Because you can't stream to those from your desktop. All right, and we have videos about Instagram streaming from desktop. If you need that, just let our mods know in the comments, and we'll get you a link. Okay, now let's talk about software. I mentioned software, but I want you to know what you can and can't use a countdown timer with. So first and foremost, let me break down the 4 levels of live streaming so that you understand this software conversation. Level 1 of live streaming is your phone. Super simple, super easy, but you're not gonna get countdown timers out of this, okay? Now, level 2 is cloud-based services. So you're on your desktop at this point, and you're going to, something like StreamYard or Lightstream or Be Live or whatever. That's a level 2 software because it's cloud-based. And you are not going to be able to use countdown timers with those services at a level 2 natively. And then there's level 3, which is software that you download onto your computer, and our recommendations, there are a lot of them out there, but our recommendations are Ecamm for Mac, obviously since I use it, and vMix for PC. Now, there are other options out there. So if you use any other level 3 softwares, those will also work for bringing a countdown timer into it, like OBS or Wirecast, which we don't recommend, but those other solutions that you might have in your workflow, those could work with a countdown as well. Okay, So, that is what you need to know about about the platforms and about the software. And if you have additional questions, please do type those questions in the chat room so that we can answer those in our Q&A section. But remember, countdown timers can really add to your production. One, it makes you look more professional. It creates engagement. It creates a habit formation with your audience. And it really allows you to, kind of have this process that people get used to, hence the habit. And so people will show up, they'll hang out early to wait for you to go live, and they'll dance along with you if you choose to be like me and dance during your countdown timers. It is not required, but now you know the 5 layers to your countdown timers. And again, if you want one from Live Streaming Pros, that's me, then you can actually get one. Paul Dixon, our magical graphic designer, he's just freaking amazing. He's created a bunch of styles and colors to match your brand so that you can download those and you can put them into your production. And I showed you how easy it is. We provide that done for you file, so you can just get it. You can be done with it. You don't have to beat your head against the wall. You don't have to hire somebody to do it for you. It's just easy breezy, and it already looks great. So that's where you can go to get your own at livestreamingpros.com/graphics. And now I am excited to dive into Q&A. So if you're watching the replay, thank you so very much for hanging out with us. I will see you next Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific. All right, guys, I know there's tons of questions coming through. It should be required to dance behind every countdown. I totally agree with you. It sets the tone. Exactly, Anthony. It sets the tone of whatever environment you're trying to create with your audience. You want to know that, you want people to know like what to expect from you. And, I want people to expect fun, and I want people to loosen up, and I want people to have fun. So I dance because I love to dance. I'm not good at it, but I love I love it. Yes, absolutely. You can customize the text of your timers. I actually provide a tutorial video for you, Nika, on how to customize everything. Now, the only thing that you're not going to be able to customize if you get it from us is that the actual video file itself, which is the animation file and the colors. Everything else is customizable. Okay. Yes, show your personality. Dance if you want to. Create a fun environment. Yes, 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 yes. Hold on, I just realized I didn't have my video output on, sorry, so I couldn't see all the comments over here. I don't know. I totally skipped that in the setup process this morning. Silly, silly me. Okay, so let's get to some questions that came during the training portion of this, and then I'll keep answering your questions. So do I have to dance in the background to get engagement? Viatora wants to know, can I just do a countdown with a question of the day, for example? So absolutely. Like I said at the beginning of this, it's yours to do with what you want. Whether you get it from us or you create one yourself, you should put you into your into your streams. That's what we will always encourage you to do. I don't think that you have to dance. I know you don't have to dance to get engagement. I do that because I love to dance. I love to have fun. But other ideas, you can, do a question of the day. Although, you could instead of show starts in, you could somehow work in a question of the day. You can still do behind the scenes where you're getting ready for the show. You're drinking your coffee, you're working on your computer, you're not dancing, but people are still seeing you move. That voyeurism, and I'm sorry, but like, we don't like to think that we're voyeuristic in nature, but we are. And so don't take offense to that. Use it to your advantage. Understand human nature. So the fact that people get to watch you work beforehand is hugely engaging no matter what you're doing. Axel, you can go to Hold on. I don't know why my comment is not going away. There you go. You can go to livestreampros.com/graphics to get your own file. And again, this is a live streaming pros offer, not a Ecamm thing. We do this show in conjunction with Ecamm, and if you want to learn more about Ecamm, you can always go right here. Had to find my button. All right. Jill, would you use a timer for a Facebook private group live? If it's a regular thing, well, yes. I'm just going to say yes, I would. And in fact, our client, Amy Porterfield, does that all the time. It gives people a chance. Facebook does not give you the benefit of sharing all the people who want to get those notifications right away. So when you give it time to have Facebook send out those notifications, it benefits you more in the long run. You'll lose a couple of people maybe, but not in the ratio you might expect. More people will stay than leave. And so it also, if you are getting engagement during that pre-show, it also tells Facebook's algorithm, YouTube's algorithm as well, this is worth sharing. People like this video. I think algorithm is saying, I want more people to see this because they'll stick around, they'll pay attention, they'll engage with this particular video. So that is a huge benefit of doing it regardless if you're using it in the countdown timer, in the Facebook group or not. Cindy says, what is the step-by-step when you go live? Music is not playing for me when I go live with the countdown scene. Hopefully you saw how I did that. So if not, go back and watch the replay. But also, Cindy, if you bought one of ours, I think you did, I gave you a tutorial video on exactly how to set it up in both Ecamm and vMix. David did the vMix one, of course. Boxstar training, how can you use a countdown clock during a workout throughout the whole video? Yeah, so let me show you that. That's a great question. Okay. So let's say, I think what you're essentially saying is, like, we have this workout we're doing and we want a countdown clock on so that people know how long you have left to work out. I don't know if you want them seeing that, but if you do, I know I'd be like, we have 30 more minutes. Oh man, I give up. What you would do is hit overlays, new text overlay, and you would fill in your text if you want text. If you just want a countdown clock, then just to new countdown overlay, and then you just fill out or you choose the time, right? So if it's going to be a 60-minute workout, then you would type 60 in here. My mouse is hitting the keyboard. So anyway, go to 60 minutes. Oh, I know why that's not doing it. 1 hour. Sorry. There. So you would set it for 1 hour and then go to next scene when finished, which is your main camera. Okay. And so then it would just be here, right? And you could be like, all right, we're just going to like have this in the corner or something, right? So that would be how you would accomplish that. Okay. Coming out of live demo mode, I have to say that because otherwise I don't do it. Charnel, you can get your very own countdown timer right here at livestreamingpros.com/graphics. So you have different styles, different colors to choose from. And I know that a lot of people are like, oh, there are so many awesome ones. Which one do I choose? We're getting that question a lot. Paul Dixon suggested that you choose the chasing countdown timer, that style. It's called chasing because the colors chase each other around, right? And so it's actually pretty cool. And so that one is really visual and pretty cool. So I just said pretty cool. I'm going to say it again, pretty cool. So yeah, that would be the one that Paul would recommend if you cannot decide. All right, next question, Jill, is there a sweet spot for the length of the countdown? If you are new, I would think that shorter is more appropriate. Yeah, so if you're like brand new to live streaming, start with a 5-minute countdown because likely you aren't going to have, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Like likely when you're just starting live, you're not going to have viewers show up immediately. or at all during your live streams until you're consistent and until they understand what you're doing, right? You have to gather that audience, and it takes time and consistency. But it also, a 10-minute, 5-minute, 7-minute, 3-minute, whatever, you also get the chance to actually fix things that might be going wrong, send out promotions, all of that stuff. So you'll notice when you watch my countdowns, I'm dancing, but I'm also doing stuff, right? I'm learning to multitask here. I was talking with Callie, our new community care hero. I got it right. Yes. Why don't you pop on in here for a second? Meet Callie. I know, sorry. I'm just throwing her on the spot right now. This is Callie. And she's over here learning.
Wow, wild.
We actually met you. Why don't you tell us where we met you?
Yeah, I was working at Comcast as a sales rep, and they were my customers. So.
Yeah. And you were freaking awesome. Best customer service we've ever had.
Thank
you. We just had to hire her.
Meant to be.
So she's over there. She's hanging out with you guys in the chat room. But I was trying to talk to her during the countdown, and apparently I cannot multitask, talk, and dance at the same time. I can work, but I can't talk. It's weird. It's Kali, like that. Exactly. Okay, so next question. I don't have any more sent to me. So, Charnel, I've been learning a lot from you. Now I have better quality because of you all. Awesome. Love it. Thank you for that. So no, it's not customer management hero. It's community. Wait, right? Community care hero. I'm gonna learn it. All right. We had a bunch of other questions about the countdown timers and how to do it or what you guys need to do. And so I'm just gonna scroll back up and see if you have a question. Just type Q in the front of your question. How do you? Oh, look, we're gonna stay on topic today. As if you guys have additional questions that are beyond the scope of this conversation, definitely join us for our Friday live Q&As on the Live Streaming Pros channels. We do all kinds of questions there. And I try and keep kind of on topic because otherwise, unless we have time, we kind of went through this really quickly. So maybe we have time for other stuff. Do you use the countdown timer at that start of your scheduled stream or 10 minutes before? Great question. I should have covered this because this is actually a frequently asked question. Okay, so Clarence, what I do, if you are going to schedule your streams, I schedule it at 9:50 for a 10 o'clock show, right? If I plan to go live, like me on camera talking, delivering at 10, I schedule it for that 10 minutes prior. Specifically on Facebook. I actually don't do that on YouTube because it doesn't go in those increments, I don't think. But you also don't need to. Like YouTube will, as soon as it sees a signal, it'll just go. So David is learning to dance. He just might dance soon. Okay. Oh, awesome. Darren, this is awesome. Planning to do a chef recipes show. That sounds exciting. 18 minutes to hit critical mass. Exactly, Anthony. Isn't that crazy? Like 18 minutes. That's why we want to give it a little time. Yeah? Okay. Oh, some people asked about OBS. So OBS is just a different software. It's open broadcasting software. And we find a lot of people it's more clunky, and so they wind up with problems. And so that's why we recommend the softwares that we do, because it's the smoothest experience and the best experience for the most number of people, which is Ecamm for Mac and vMix for PC. Angela, is the mic automatically muted during a countdown and does it unmute when finished? So that's all in how you set it up, okay? So let me go in here and show you. So when you're doing a countdown, in this countdown, let me do the one that I was working within. So you see my microphone is not muted at the moment. However, I am going to mute it. If it does doesn't automatically mute. You want to mute it. I can't speak to you while it's muted. So, and so you would want to make sure that that is muted for your countdown timer. And then, I'm going to bring this down just a little bit so you can hear me. But, and then what you want to do is actually lock it. When everything is good to go, you lock your scene. Very, 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 very important so that you don't screw anything up. I've done it. That's why I tell you. I have screwed it up while live and everything went awry. So that's why you lock it. You just want to make sure. Okay. So, and then when it goes, so this is muted, right? And because what you did on this, the timer itself, oh wait, I locked it. Unlock it when you need to edit it. Go to next scene when finished. That is key because that is why in the file that we gave you, I'm just gonna mute that. In the file that we gave you, when you buy the countdown timers from us, we give you a done for you file, which looks like somewhere. It looks like this. So it's a .ecam live file. We also provided one for vMix for you guys. And so this is the ability to just open it up and have it almost all filled out. You just have to do a couple of extra things. But it also has this main camera in the sequence. I've already set that up for you, and I've already made sure that this timer says go to next scene when finished. You need to double check that it's still active when you purchase it and load it in. But when it's done, when it hits 0, it actually goes to the next scene, which is the main camera, and then that main camera turns on. So whatever you set up with your scenes, if I were to have, right? So you wouldn't hear me if I had that on mute. If I unmute it, and the countdown timer hits 0, it automatically is set to go to the next scene, which has audio. Does that make sense? So that's why why we set it up the way we set it up, so that you don't have to worry about those things. I'm just checking to see if there were any more. Okay. Full-Time Dream just found this stream. Gonna have to rewatch Full-Time Dream. I hope you enjoy the replay. We went through a lot of information, so I hope that you'll find that valuable. Darren, when I drop in a countdown, it adds show in all scenes eCam. So you just want, if it's doing that, you just want to move that. So you don't want it to be seen in all scenes. So let me go to live demo mode again. And I have a bunch of things kind of going into all scenes, but you would want to just drag and drop, or drag it into show in current scene, right? So, and then you can hide or unhide, hide or show. That would be the correct terminology there. Let's see. Robert, and just in case this got lost, it did. Thank you, Robert, for reposting. I'm sorry. I usually don't like people to repost, but I totally missed it. Why do you edit out the timer on your replay? Robert, I do that because people watching the replay just want the content at that point, right? Why make somebody scroll through 10 minutes in order to get to the content? Any barrier you create for your viewer, that on especially on that replay, right? The more barriers you create, the worse experience they have. And I'm all about the experience for the viewer. So for the mentality and the expectation of a live viewer is very different than a replay viewer. And so you have to treat them separately and meet them where they are and what they want. Yeah? Scully. So if you're scheduled for a 10, you can go ahead and start the stream beforehand. You can. On YouTube, it'll automatically kind of go. On Facebook, if you've scheduled the stream, you can actually start that manually, but you have to go into Facebook Live Producer on the browser, start that manually, and then end that manually too. Very important. I don't like to do that because then I always forget to end it, and then the stream just never ends. So it might be faded to black, but it never ends. So it's just something that I like to not give myself reasons to screw up. Right? Doesn't that sound good? Does the countdown show up for the watch later audio? Okay, so Joshua, I just answered that with the other question, but it would unless you trim it off. And on Facebook and YouTube, you can trim that as well. All right. I'm not sure, Peppo, what you're asking. Can you clarify for me? Jeremiah, if you do a countdown, do you need music or something playing too? Okay, so Jeremiah, yeah, we do recommend Ecamm for the music. And if you are going to do a countdown timer, I would highly recommend having music or something playing. A countdown timer, 10 minutes, even 5 minutes with no audio is really boring. And the whole reason we're doing this, well, one of the reasons is to create that engagement, right? So when you have that music, and there's a free 30-day trial for you guys if you don't have music already, and Epidemic Sound is our favorite just because of the quality of the music, but that link is in the description. It helps with engagement because you're engaging people, you're doing something with them, you're giving them something to listen to. Everybody likes music. Actually, I think there's one person in the world that I've met that doesn't like music, but everybody else likes music. So, or if you wanted to, you could turn your audio on and not have music, and then you could just talk to them, like tell them what you're doing or something. So you could choose to talk to them as an alternative. But you have to do something. Like having completely silent audio is boring as hell. So I would not suggest it. We don't want to be boring in our streams, guys. I would love to, Maria. So I was just talking to Callie about this a second ago, or actually before the show, not a second ago, that would be incorrect. We're trying to figure out a way to share the information of the music I use. I cannot create the playlist for you guys. I don't have a way to do that because you have to have Epidemic Sound in order to see that music. But if you do have it, we're going to probably put together a page on our website that links to all of the, or that has all of the names of the songs that we use. That way you can kind of go in and find it. It's just because it's a subscription service, it's like there's no easy way to link to all the different songs. Okay. Free Salon Education says, took your idea of a countdown timer and added it to my live stream today. I loved the look of it, but my Facebook engagement was a third of it was it normally was. Not sure why. Interesting. Okay, so Free Salon, that could be a number of different reasons. Anytime you do something different, if you already have engagement, people don't like change, right? And so when you're changing something, you need to involve your audience in that change. Otherwise, people see it as a change instead of a positive, and change to human beings equals negative just by default. So you need to take a change and make it a positive thing. And by that, you can involve them in the setup process. You can show them what you're doing, give them a behind the scenes look at it. You can do all kinds of things, tell them what's coming, why you're doing it. Involve them in that process, and all of a sudden change is no longer negative. It's a really cool thing that they're a part of creating, right? Ask them for their opinions on things. What color do you think I should choose? What music should I put, right? Things like that. Involving them will make a huge difference in that process. Now, you also might just ask them, right? If you have a regular audience, just talk to them, ask them, say, what did you think of that today? They'll tell you. And if for some reason your audience is like, nope, don't like it, get rid of it, then you can listen to them. You can either train your audience or you can listen to them. And you should do a mix of both over time. I don't have a clue how to say your name. I'm so sorry. Olujuk? I'm so sorry. I know I screwed that up. How do I bring audio into my... Okay, that's an entirely different question. Audio into a mixer. I mean, if you have a XLR mixer, if you have a USB mixer, I don't know how to answer that. I'm so sorry, because I don't know what things you have. But essentially, if you have a USB mixer, you can plug that into your computer, and your software will see that as your audio source, and then you can mix separately. So hopefully that helps give you a little bit of direction. Tommy wants to know, free salon, maybe it was your dancing. Maybe it was your dancing. I don't know. Somebody said I was out of beat the other day, off beat the other day, and I don't doubt it. I absolutely don't doubt it. Let's see. The camera that I use is the Sony a5100. You can actually get all of the details about everything I use right here, livestreamingpros.com/GLN. We link to all of the gear that I use so that you can just click and go. Be done with it. All right. Are you Yes, exactly. Paulino, vMix for PC. Exactly. Okay. I'm answering your questions. I'm sorry. Put Q in front of your questions, and that will be ensuring I see it. That will be ensuring. Sometimes I say weird things. Sorry. When you trim the countdown, don't you lose all the live comments? Yes, you do. So my DVC points on YouTube only, and I meant to mention that when I was talking about it earlier. Thank you for bringing that up. So on YouTube only, you lose comments if you do edit that video. To me, I don't mind that if it's worth that replay value, right? So we do different types of streams for different purposes. And I will be tackling that in upcoming videos, like our strategy behind live streaming on YouTube and growth. But on Facebook, you can trim all you want. You can mess with that video all you want, and you will not lose those comments. I wish YouTube would take, for once, a note out of Facebook's. Usually I'm like, Facebook, come on, fix it. But on that particular thing, I'm like, come on, YouTube, fix it. You cannot trim on Facebook groups. Sorry. That will not be an option. So the only way that would be something you could do is record it locally through your software and then upload the video separately after edited. Ugh, it's not fun. Right? Oh my God, people would exit if there's a quiet down. I know I would. Yeah. Like you have to be doing something. I'm throwing my mouse apparently behind the scenes here. That's such a good point, Gary. I love that you said this. Music also confirms that their audio is working. Be sure it's YouTube and Facebook friendly by uploading a track privately to see if it gets flagged. Actually, you don't have to do that. But Gary, you're right. Like otherwise people hear silence and they're like, something's not working. They'll type, there's no audio. There's no audio. They'll mess with their computer. They'll freak out. People freak out really easily. So that is a good point. Now, Gary, you don't have to test it if you use something like Epidemic Sound, right? So that Epidemic Sound, basically what it does is it connects your license that you're paying for, and I only pay $15 a month for all the music I can use. And so if you, and there's a 30 days to try it out, right? So what was I saying? Yeah, Epidemic Sound takes your license and it connects to YouTube and it connects to Facebook and it communicates with those platforms and says, this person has a license for this music, don't claim them. So we've never had, the reason that we suggest that music is because we've never had a claim through Epidemic Sound. We have had claims through many other services that provide music. Any additional ideas? Okay, let's come up with some additional ideas for the community. If you guys have additional ideas for what to do during your countdown timer, if you don't want to be like Luria and dance, and the other option I gave, but yeah, go ahead and comment, like help me out with Clarence here. But so the other option I gave was to just like be kind of behind the scenes, right? And like let them see what you're doing. Another option is a doggy cam or a kitty cam. You guys know I usually have my Abby cam, which is Abby the Chihuahua. And you guys can see her during the countdown timer. She's pretty boring because she doesn't move a lot during the countdown timer. So it's not super engaging, but people always like kids, animals. Yeah, kids and animals and food. 3 very easy engagement tools. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm suggesting you use your kids as an engagement tool. It works. It does. Let's see. The other things that you could do is you could um you could talk, like I said, you could talk, you could show a whiteboard where you're like writing things, you're showing your notes for the show. Just get creative. Like get creative and think, who are you as a person? What kind of environment do you want to create for your audience to engage with? Not to be rude, but countdown timers merely say to me, our time is. I don't know what that means, Alex. Can you clarify them for me? I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, you can use the free music from YouTube. YouTube has a library. Facebook also has a library. I personally don't love the selection off of those choices. And also, real trick, we simulcast, right? So because like if you download Facebook stuff or if you use YouTube stuff, you can't send that to the other platform. So one thing to think about. Correct, Gary. So that's what I'm saying is that that music that you can get from YouTube or Facebook libraries is available to you to stream with without getting claimed. Again, the selection isn't really all there, in my personal opinion, but I have high standards too. Oh, geez. Okay. Looking for questions. Sorry. Do you suggest changing the countdown overlay regularly, having like 2 to 3 views, or just pick one and make it the brand? So here's my philosophy on changing stuff up. Yes and yes to this question. One, consistency is key when it comes to branding, right? And so I would use one. Actually, here's what I would do. In the beginning, I would play. If I'm going to launch this to my audience in the beginning, I would have a few that I play with and I get my audience involved in. I love that is one of the best ways you can get engagement, guys, is to get your audience involved. Ask them for their freaking opinion. People love to be asked for their opinion. People love to talk about themselves, right? So if you can and getting them involved and you can show them the different options and then let the community decide, right? Because you're already deciding at a core, like you're kind of deciding like these are my 2 or 3 options that fit my brand that I want to use, and then you're letting them like make the decision. That is really beneficial and powerful. And then I would stick with it for a while and then change it up. You in your brand, I don't care what we're talking about. I don't care if we're talking about the set background, visual assets like a countdown timer, content, like all of the things. You want freshness in your content. And so changing stuff up over time, you know, like you want consistency for a while and then you want to change it up and then have that consistent for a while and then change it up. That really helps in like keep your audience on their toes, keeps them fresh, and keeps them excited to keep watching you. If you have a question, type Q in the front of it so that I don't miss it. And I'm probably missing any, but I try. No pimping out your kids. Okay, Daniel, fine. Now, this is one thing to be, I love that you guys are giving ideas. One thing that's really important to note is that Facebook has very specific rules against playing an ad, your own pre-recorded ad in your live stream. So don't do that. If it's not an ad, that's fine, right? Just make sure, Darren says, that your camera shows something that's moving, a clock with a second hand at the very least. I love that, Darren. If you can't think, oh, excuse me, sorry. If you can't think of anything else, then, you know, yeah, then a countdown clock. Ecam says, other ideas, just roll a video clip, which is, yeah, what we were just talking about. Like, so yeah, if you have a video clip, but just not an ad, okay? Oh. Gary, if I used to be a DJ, if there was silence on the air, FCC would actually fine the station So I've been trained not to have dead air. Well, and there's a reason for that. The reason being that people will leave with silence. It's just nature, right? I tend to wave at the audience through my countdown timer. It gets people saying hi. David will use his Go XLR to to do voice effects and things like that. The voice of live stream, the god of live streaming, like he'll play with the audience, things like that. So you can do all kinds of things. During live streaming, how can I share my streaming on many televisions in a hall? Join us tomorrow for our open Q&A. We're trying to keep it kind of on track here today with this topic, but join us for our open Q&A tomorrow on our Live Streaming Pros channel. Okay. Is there any way to do the countdown timers on mobile? I saw the backpack video with that cool dude with the glasses. That's David. But that was just, I wouldn't go as far as calling him cool, but he does have the glasses. But that was just way out of my budget. Is there a cheaper solution? So we're going to look into whether you can use the countdown timer on Switcher Studio, but I do not believe you can. Like, it is not something I expect to work, but we're going to try. Eva, I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head. You might want to reach out to Epidemic and see what they say about that. I actually am not too familiar with what the commercial license includes, so I need to learn that to be able to answer you better. I am so sorry, I don't know the answer. But yeah, just reach out to their support or read through it and see if there's a really clear indication. Can we change the color of the chasing light? And by the way, let me back up here. I believe that the difference between the personal and the commercial is like the commercial is really only if you're using it to kind of like sell your agency. Like, I think as a church, you would be totally fine doing just the personal license, but I could be wrong. I just don't want to answer you incorrectly. Can we change the color of the chasing light and the chasing countdown theme to match our brands? That is why we provide you all kinds of different coloring options. So no, you cannot. That is the one thing that you cannot adjust is the animation itself and the coloring, right? So if you look at this link and you actually browse through the different options, we have all kinds of different colors for you. So Paul went haywire. I was like, you did how many? Wait, what? Paul was like, nope, we can't just provide a few. We have to make sure that they're taken care of. Paul is looking out for you. If it would have been left up to me, I would have been like, all right, like five choices. We're good to go. Like, everybody will be happy. And Paul was like, nope, we're giving them more. So, yeah, like just find something that matches your brand's color, and that'll be the best way to go about that. We need it. While I find more, we're going to go to a dance break. Where's my dance break? Crap. Hold on. Where's my dance break? Oh. That was a failure of a transition. All right, dance break coming up while I find more comments and questions. Don't you know that you're beautiful, just the way you are, just the way you came. Don't you know that you're beautiful, no matter what the scars, no matter what they say, and we'll shout it out, louder, prouder, ain't no one gonna hold us down. Just the way we are. Hold on, sorry. Was that a fun dance break? I hope you danced with me. Mike, forgive me for asking. Why would I have to forgive you for asking? Yes, Friday live streams are also at 10 a.m. Pacific. Now, be clear about that. So the weekly shows that I do with Ecamm on the Ecamm channels and on Live Streaming Pros channels, those are only on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific. I think they would kill me if I tried to do 5 days a week on their channel. I don't know. What do you think, Katie? Would you kill me? But yeah, this show is go live now, and that's the Thursdays only. On our live streaming pros channels, we are live 5 days a week at 10 a.m. Pacific. So just remember that time and you're good to go. All right. John, can your countdown timer product be used in OBS? Yes. And in fact, John, we actually provide you with an OBS tutorial to set up the file that you purchase from us. And again, guys, it's only 27 bucks. I don't know why I just said 26. I just knocked $1 off there. It's only 27 bucks. So it's like super easy. We wanted to make sure that as many people as possible can have professional looking countdowns, because we get so many people asking us, and we tell people, I mean, we get told by people all the time, like, I am beating my head against the wall trying to get this timer fixed or created. They're trying to do it in Keynote. They're trying to do it in Photoshop, which if you leave me to Photoshop, it's not getting done. Like they're trying to do it themselves. And you have to think about the time that it takes to mess around with something and create something yourself. So for 27 bucks, you can offload that, get something, and then be done with it. Move on to the more important things in your business and in your content. Like, that's why we did it at such a low price, because we don't want you to have to, beat your head against the wall. It's just not worth it. Let's see. What are some green screen hacks? I just did a video on green screen. I would argue with you on that, Josh, that it's the best solution that you can come up with. I would tell you that instead you can go to our website, and you can, the link is coming to you in the comments, I'm sure right now, livestreamingpros.com/ideas. It gives you 10 set ideas. We have people who so that you can do it in a small space even. We have people who have like a 4x3 or a 4x6 little area that they're building their set out in. I would much rather see you do something personal to your brand, to you, as opposed to having a green screen, which you can screw up so easily. Like, I'm not saying anything about you that's not rude against you. That's just saying everybody, human beings, don't know how to use green screens unless you've been through training. Okay. Oh, I haven't heard this. Okay, hold on, I'm scrolling up. Okay, so first, Greg said, how close is Ecamm to having built-in multifunction capability, meaning multi-streaming to different platforms at the same time? Because as you guys know, I did a video about this on Go Live Now just last week or the week before about how I use Restream to send out the signal to 4 different locations. However, Ecamm just said they're a couple months away. Yay! So exciting. Okay. I'm just scrolling back down. Do we need another dance break? Because I'm not finding any questions. Lots of chatter. I love that you chat with each other. I love that you help each other out during the streams and be a community. You're a true community when you are talking to each other, helping people out. Thank you for that. And thank you for hanging out with me. Well, thank you, Bass Guy. I appreciate you. I know I haven't seen your name in a while, though. Have you been talking? I think you've been lurking. All right, you guys, next Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific, be sure to join me and be sure to participate. I don't know what next week is going to be. I will post it on my calendar over at livestreamingpros.com/live as soon as I know. I think we might have an interview coming up, but we'll see. And those of you who are watching on Live Streaming Pros pages and channels, we will be live over here at 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow on Friday for open Q&A. Yay! Have a wonderful day, guys. We'll chat with you later.